First of all, I'd like to advocate that we leave the studio and do the show outside today. Anybody just want to set up the fire and we'll just sit in some Adirondack chairs, stare at the sky, and the Lions just scored again. Can we do that?
Let's do that, man. I'll set up the fire.
Golly.
Give me 15 minutes. I'll be back.
It's gorgeous outside. It emulates our football season.
It is.
I mean, yesterday was hilarious. You and I mean, we'll joke around about stuff. We're not going to bat 1,000, but twice this year we've basically said, all right, we got ourselves a BOGO.
Groupon. Now you see what Groupon means.
At 14-3, the Jacksonville Jaguars hit the transfer portal. They opted out. Now, I'm not being insulting to you. You still have to play. But I imagined all the times I would make fun of the man to my left over the last 15 years. Rico, what's going on, man? You want to watch a game this weekend? No, I'm in San Antonio at a 7-on-7 tournament. That's what it had to look like. You were running 7-on-7 out there.
Actually, you're right. That's what it looks like.
That is.
Yeah, I'm at a AAU tournament. I'm at 7-on-7 because, yes, it got to the point. Mike, we did the pregame show. I did it with Costa, and I remember telling people, if you have plans for today around 3:30, 4 o'clock, go ahead and make them. Go ahead and tell your wife you're going wherever, set up dinner plans, because you aren't going to miss anything. You could have left sooner than that. I mean, that was utter domination. Now, it was Kirby Joseph was like, look, if you're not ready to play us, that's not on us.
No.
And they came in there and they did something that I think great teams do. You never play down to your level of competition. You make them rise to your level, and you're right. The Jags were like, guys, seriously? I mean, when Campbell, challenged the one, like, really? You can't even let us have this catch? No. You get nothing. You can go now.
And look, we can, if there's a negative, obviously, Anzalone's injury. Well, Jack Campbell, you've had a nice season sharing time. Well, now it's all every rep will go to Jack Campbell at every turn. Good. But overall, you look at it, it's just not, that's not NFL football. You don't beat people 52-6. I mean, you can go throughout time. Rico's had some great teams. I've had some great teams. David's Steelers. You don't put up 52. This team's done it twice. You don't beat people by outgaining them by not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but nearly 500 yards. Like, guys, I can't force you to get aboard. And if you're still nervous or scared or have PTSD, that's a you thing. You're winning the Super Bowl. And why run from it? I'm not. I haven't since summer. I'm not going to do it now. I believe in my heart we're going to be in New Orleans for the Super Bowl, and we're going to win the damn thing. Namely because big game, little Lamar. David, you beautiful bastard. Oh, man. Hope Lamar's head is warm in that stupid head warmer he was wearing. So listen, back to the point. As I get the Lamar slander off my chest.
You good now?
I'm so good. So I'm so tired of him being anointed, but in the biggest games, he can't win them. Lamar. So here's what I wanted to offer. What is your favorite thing about this team? But I wanted to offer something new. Okay, just something that jumped out at me watching the game. And in fairness, guys, outside of J-Mo grabbing his bratwurst, there's not a whole lot to take out of that game. But I wanted to offer this. Can we say the Rico Beard game, which we'll get to later, can we say the Lions have the most physical, angry, violent secondary in recent NFL memory? In almost a 5-minute span, you saw Kirby Joseph run through ATN's legs and bury him in a way you don't see defensive players do, much less DBs. Mm-hmm. You saw Brian Branch send the guy into another dimension like it was Quantum Leap. And then you had Amik Robertson, who's basically 4 feet tall, murder a man. All 3 hits were like Nick Bolton Chiefs.
Kills people.
And Carlton Davis, very good against the run, wants to come up and support, get physical, even wearing his mitten. That is something that I don't think we identify enough is the mindset of the team. It's one thing if the D-line does it or the linebackers, but for the secondary, which are always viewed as the softest guys on the defense, right? Mm-hmm. The divas,
Yep.
You don't have any of that. You have killers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just did it jump. Did that jump to you?
Mike,
Amidst
did.
the 7-on-7?
No, that was 7-on-7 football. I mean, the J-Mo touchdown, that's what it looks like, seriously.
What, grabbing your junk?
No, when you just catch the ball and nobody touches you, and yeah, that's 7-on-7.
J-Mo looked like Kenny Saturday night when Georgia stormed back.
Yeah, dear J-Mo. Here's yet another. Yeah, you're gonna be a little light in the pocket for that one, pulling your Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, it's gonna be 6 figures.
But I agree with you. But I was there a long time ago. And the reason being is because the Lions are kind of getting a reputation around the league. They're dirty. The defense, they're dirty. They hit people. They injure people. They hit too hard. That tells me you have an elite, hard-hitting defense. Because when people have to give you that label, okay, guys, you hurt my quarterback, or you hurt this player, or you knocked this player out.
Too bad.
But when you go and look at the play, like, well, that was a football play. It was not a cheap shot. You know, looking what Brian Branch hit, that was a football play. Like, wow, you don't see it.
They were all football plays.
Right, because the game has been watered down so much that everything's a 15-yard penalty. But no, they're not cheap shots, but yes, they punish you. And the great defenses have that reputation of being punishers. I'm not going across the middle. You are not going to send me on a route one-on-one with that guy out, that headhunter. No, not going there. Change the play.
I don't know. It jumped out to me as something that was my takeaway from yesterday because, candidly, guys, I'm not being disrespectful. It's the ultimate compliment I can pay you. The game's over at 14-3 because you physically saw. You saw it if you know what you're watching. The Jaguars quit. Mm-hmm. And I don't put that term out there lightly. I don't disrespect the guys who play these sports. You don't ever want to use the Q word. But there are certain times in an NFL or like an NBA game when a team goes out and loses by 60, they quit. It is so far outside the margins, beyond the pale. Mm-hmm. Hockey, you see a team lose 10-1 or something, or baseball 24-3. Yeah, they quit. They had their third baseman pitching. Yesterday in the NFL, I watched the Jags at 14-3 go, warm the bus. And what you don't allow for is any of that. Like Dan Campbell challenging calls, going for it on fourth down. Why do we have the starters in up 36 in the fourth quarter? No, I'm not saying it's classless. It's fun. It's unnecessary.
It's only fun until you lose somebody, and then you have to answer that question.
But I'm making the point.
Yeah.
What Kirby said is their mentality. Mm-hmm. If you are not careful, we're going to kick your ass.
Mm-hmm. That's not our job. You better come in here ready because we are.
Oh, the Lions will roll to town, and they will impregnate your girl. They will just come to town, take her to dinner while you're at work, and you know what happens next. The Lions are a menace.
They are.
And in all the right ways.
And the other thing about the defense I think that they are a part of that Lions hangover, is that the defense beats up on the opposing offense so badly that the next game,
twice.
They're not ready because they're still in pain for what the Lions did. Now, well, that's not fair because I think we know the Jags will lose their next game. But when you look at it, everybody that they played lost. Dallas had a bye week, still lost when they came off the bye week. So at first it was a coincidence, but now I'm believing, that hangover thing is real. The Lions beat you so badly.
Did you savor the athletic display all day by Jared Goff? Mobile golf season, people. Hope you enjoyed that 9-yard scamper. They should put that to Rocky music. Every week he's getting a first down using them twigs.
When they said he had 18 yards all year and he had 20 in the first half.
That's right.
I said, what are we doing here?
David, 2 words, speed training. Jared Goff is now an improviser. He's extending plays with his feet. Come on, get aboard the movement. Anytime I send you my little graphic with Jared Goff with flames from his feet like a cartoon, come on.
I laughed.
I was just like, this is great. Mobile Goff doing it again.
Oh,
little scamper, couple first downs each week. He slots in somewhere just underneath maybe Justin Herbert and Lamar for mobility.
Yeah. And on a side note, if you're smart, man, the Lions can make you money. The anytime touchdowns, just bet them all.
You could have bet any player who you can name or who has a jersey at the team score and it cashed yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, there are two ways to play this. Your takeaways, you do whatever you like. My takeaway is your secondary that doesn't get enough shine, and Brad Holmes deserves credit here. They went from a bad secondary to a good secondary. They went from a weak secondary to a physical secondary. And a lot of that is the archetype of the player you're looking for. We talked about Robertson coming from the Raiders, that he can't play the outside. He's not much physically. He's like 4 feet tall, but he'll hit you. He's like a little pit bull. He's perfect for the slot. Brian Branch is a destroyer. I will never understand how he fell out of the first round. I don't get it. We didn't get it draft night. Like, if they had taken him 12th overall, we all would have been like, okay.
Oh, dude, if they had swapped him and Campbell, I think everybody would have been like, oh, see, yeah, that makes more sense.
But he's a destroyer. Kirby Joseph has turned into a mean man. So when you start looking at it, you go, you know what? Other teams don't have this.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, other teams barely have a secondary that can cover the pass. But what Rico said is right. You turn on the film, your receivers better be on a swivel. Mm-hmm. And your running back, they support in run D. You don't see that. I promise you. Let a loser like me that watches every game every week tell you this. You do not see corners and run support.
If you're a wide receiver, you better go to the DK Metcalf weightlifting class, because you can't come in here and look like the Eagles wide receivers and think you're going to survive in this game.
No, but it's truly a special time. It really is, Rico. These are games you don't see. And I don't think fans know how to categorize it because there is no reference point. There's been no time this team has ever been like this. But, yeah, here's your reminder. This ain't normal.
Yeah. I took away something. I'll give that to you later.
Oh, man.